All right, guys, so this section is for those who it's your first time joining us here at eLotus for a webinar. This is how you take your quiz and get your CE certificate. First, make sure you are logged into your account with your username and password, then go to My Active Courses. Then you would click on today's webinar name, the title, and you're taken to the Blue Course Access page. At the end of the class, you will see this yellow Take Quiz button, and it will take you to a course worksheet. It's 3 questions. You answer it, hit submit, and you're on to the quiz question. There are 10 multiple choice questions. There is no time limit. You do need to answer at least 7 out of the 10 correct. If you don't pass, you can always take it again. And I already know everyone's going to pass because everyone was totally engaged in today's class and everyone's paying attention. Once you do pass, a link will take you to your My CEUs page where you will see awaiting course evaluation. Go ahead and click on that to take the course eval. Make sure you're just double check on here that your name and your license number and your licensing board are all correct. And once that's done, there will be a link that will take you to your My CEUs page, and you will see View Print Certificate. You click on this link and you will see this pop up, and you select whichever board you're with. And then you'll get a copy of your certificate of completion. If you need a reminder of how to do all these steps, I will send an email out to you tomorrow. So just for tonight, soak in all the information that you learned and rest, and tomorrow you can do your quiz. All right, so we'll get back to Rick now.
More questions? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll just run through this just so everybody has this. I think you probably have it in your notes. So these are the 7 rules. I think we've covered them through what we've talked about today. Obviously, using palpation to locate painful points, number 1. So we need to palpate the body, right? We have to have informed touch. All right. Insert the full shaft of the needle. We talked about not having any dangling needles, right? And we want to connect the needle to the handle of the needle, the leads to the handle of the needle, not to the body, to the shaft of the needle, right? Keep the distance, obviously, between the 2 leads not too far apart. The further apart, the more it diminishes the current. So you don't want to go anything more than probably 4 chun. Somewhere between 1 chun and 4 chun. Keep the needle somewhere between that area, and create a nice little current between the needles. It's really, really important. I showed you how to do cross-directional versus bidirectional needling, or bidirectional needling in areas that are the tissue is not too dense. Okay, so obviously you don't want to do it in our extremities where the tissue tends to be very dense. Okay. Obtaining, set stimulator at 1 hertz. That's the most important thing. If you learn anything today, I would say continuous mode at 1 hertz is it. And I hope and I believe that this will be the standard for pain control in the future. I think it will. Obtaining dachi is not a requirement when you use electrical stem, which is kind of a nice advantage. You get bonus points. You can get a little bit better results, but you're going to get results regardless if you do hit dachi or not. You can place the needle in very softly and just let the machine do the work. Okay. And then make sure you get the needle into the belly of the muscle. Okay, get it in deep enough. Okay, you got to go deeper than just the subcutaneous tissue. You need to go into the belly of the muscle to really get results. So besides just the using 1 hertz continuous mode, it's more than just that, right? It's a synergy of using different things together to get the most optimal results we can get. But I think if you use all of these together, you're going to get better results than you've gotten in a long time. So I'm hoping you will. I think you will. In fact, I'd love to hear from you guys too about it. You can let me know how you do with it. Any other questions at all that anybody has? I can answer stuff that's even a little bit off chart a little bit. I can talk to you about diagnostic techniques and hand reading and a couple things I did. I studied a lot of that were not really, they weren't really acupuncture related, but they gave me some insight into people and the way they think and feel and carry on in the world. And one was reading hands, and one was something called constitutional iridology, and there's another system called Rayet system, which was reading the iris of the eye. And we have all these incredible maps that all these different systems that we can, by just learning to read these maps, we can tell what's going on inside the body. This Rayet system is a behavioral system, something that might be kind of fun. I used to have actually a camera. I used to take pictures of people's eyes, and it would help me kind of, when I was doing more internal related stuff, not just pain stuff, it would help me see what was going on inside the body. And as I was doing a lot of these seminars, I did some seminars on this. I learned about this technique called the Rayid system, R-A-Y-I-D. It's a specific type of iridology that actually looks at, it's another term for it is called behavioral iridology. So it's reading one's personality in the eye. So rather than, in America, the iridology system is more towards, it's totally colon focused. Everything's about cleaning your colon, right? In European iridology, it's about the whole body. It's more systemic. This brilliant man developed this technique of reading the iris of the eye for personality characteristics, behavioral tendencies, and actually for physical problems as well. The tighter the fibers are, the closer the fibers run in your iris, the stronger your immune system tends to be. So if you see a lot of openings, they call them flowers. The more openings there are more weaknesses in that particular tissue in your body. It's fascinating stuff. I met a man at one of the seminars who looked in my eyes and told me about my father. Your father is in your right eye, your mother is in your left eye. And by looking in my eyes, he could actually tell the personality of my parents. It was totally bizarre. Sounds a little bit esoteric, but was incredibly accurate. In fact, it was so accurate they actually were studying it at Harvard in their psychology schools. Amazing work. If you ever have a chance, read a book called Rayid, R-A-Y-I-D, Iridology. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, fun stuff too.
What is the treatment for midline low back pain from L5 to S1?
Just needling along the inner bladder line. Yeah, along just UB 21, 23, 25, 27, anywhere along there. Always try to focus on the inner bladder line for most low back pain, and you almost can't go wrong.
How do you treat torn hamstring or quad?
I don't do a lot with. I saw one professional soccer player years ago for hamstring, and I just tried to kind of palpate along the hamstring and find out where the muscle felt kind of frayed, and I tried to needle right into that. And so I do a couple points right into the hamstrings, and I got mixed results, quite honestly. But I just didn't see it enough to really treat it enough to try different things. But so I don't have a great protocol for that.
Can IBS protocol be used for flatulence and constipation?
Yeah, yes, but it's not as effective I would say, for constipation. A little bit more difficult to treat. You almost have to do some kind of herbs for constipation. Yeah, there's some natural therapies I used to use. Magnesium citrate I found to be quite effective in combination with pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5. That combination together I found to be really effective for constipation. There's some great herbs for it. I can't remember the name of this company. Anyway, I think you probably have some really great herbs for it. But acupuncture alone for constipation, very difficult, very hard. I would say for diarrhea, much more effective, for sure.
What do you think auricular e-stim versus body e-stim versus? Do you have any opinion on it?
I just think auricular is not as powerful. I think it's more used for adjunct therapy. Although I know this this group back east is starting to use a lot of auricular points, German points for anesthesia, for pain relief. But I just don't believe it's nearly as painful as body points. You just can't produce the amount of enkephalins and other opiates through the ear as you can through the body. So use it for adjunct. I think you'll be better off.
With the wing scapula, is it best to focus on the levator or the subscapular muscles?
Well, yeah, that's a tough one. I would try all of the above. I just saw somebody with wing scapula the other day. They had frozen shoulder, and it was there's just so many points to use, and I would really treat everywhere you can. There's no 1 or 2 points that's gonna fix it. I would take a little more inclusive approach and try a lot of different points all around the scapula. I think you'd probably be better off.
When you're producing opiates, is it always local? Meaning, is there a point to do a front and back treatment if most of the pain is in the back?
Not sure I quite totally get that. To use a front point to for pain in the back? Is that what they were asking, you think? Yeah, not positive about that one.
Okay, let's take one last question. Have you treated chondritis of the intercostals? Do you needle along the rib or the back?
Man, that's a really tough one. That one kind of scares me. I treated somebody for that once, and he was actually became a good friend. And I I tried to needle between the ribs. I made a big mistake. I actually connected electrical stim to it, and I'll never do it again because it started pulsating the needle, and the needle actually got inserted. I didn't put it in very far. I was really careful, but the stim actually moved the needle deeper into the space between the ribs. And I thought, oh my God, I was afraid I was going to do a pneumothorax, right? Scared the heck out of me. I told them when we're done, I said, gosh, because the needle was fully inserted but it was at an angle, but it was still scared the heck out of me. I said, if you have any trouble breathing at all after the visit, you could go to the emergency room right away. That was the last time I did any electrical stim over the ribs. So you got to be really careful with that for sure. Yeah, let's stay away from that. Yeah.
And people are asking where they can get a copy of your book. Can you tell us?
On my website, I think it's at the end here. Maybe, let's see. Oh, right here. Right on the rickbernard.wixsite.com/acupuncture. You can get it there. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for a great class.
Thank you. We made it. My voice
Yes,
made
your
it.
voice
I didn't think I was
made
going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So your quiz is available in your account right now if you want to go ahead and take it. If you don't see it, refresh the page by pressing F5. The recording for today's great class will be ready on Monday, and I'll send you an email when that's ready. Other than that, we will see some of you guys tomorrow. We do have a webinar with Dr. Jimmy Chang on his Pulse Synergy Made Easy Part 1. So we'll see some of you guys tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see the rest of you at the next webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. We made it.